Welcome to the Robbins Regional Wrap, your one-stop shop for all of your Houston County news. I'm Connor Hendricks. Each week, we're taking you through what's happening in Houston, Warner Robins, and the Air Force Base, and your neighborhood. Now, for the last 3 weeks, the Houston County Sheriff's Office has not immediately booked some probation violators into the jail. Sheriff Matt Moulton says that's because they're nearly at capacity. Last month, we told you that the jail was roughly 20 people shy of its 665-bed limit. Jasmine Lee breaks down how the department is managing the overcrowding.
We've had to make some difficult decisions in what we are accepting into the facility right now.
As of Thursday, the Houston County Jail has 590 inmates. That's down from a high of 669 last week. That surge followed a multi-agency Warner Robins police operation that brought in 27 new inmates. To manage overcrowding and limited staffing, the sheriff's office have temporarily paused booking people with minor probation violations.
So what that means is if someone violates their probation by missing a check-in or testing positive for drugs, they're not automatically being booked here. Instead, deputies are asking that they check in with their probation officers while the jail manages space.
The sheriff says the biggest issue isn't a crime spike. Many inmates have already been sentenced to state facility prisons, treatment centers, or rehab, but can't go because those facilities are full. Sheriff Moulton also wants the community to understand how long technical violations can keep some inmates in the county jail.
When that person is arrested on a violation of probation, they're taken into our facility and they will sit there up to 45 days before there is a probation hearing.
The temporary policy is expected to last about 2 more weeks. Once the policy ends, minor probation violators will again be processed like any other inmate. The sheriff emphasizes this is a short-term step to handle overcrowding, not a permanent change. He added if population pressure continues, the county may consider expanding the jail in the future.
Population has grown substantially over the last 23, 24 years in Houston County. So with that population growth, you expect to see crime rates go up a little bit.
For now, Houston County Jail is focusing on space management while still holding all warrants active. Reporting in Houston County, Jasmine Lee, 13 WMAZ News.
Once the temporary pause ends, deputies will resume those normal bookings for those probation violations. For now, though, the jail is managing its population while nearly 100 inmates wait for transfers to state prisons or rehab facilities. And Emory Healthcare says it's investing $150 million in their Emory Hospital, Warner Robins, and Perry locations. They say that in the 4 months since taking over, they've already made progress in reducing ambulance response times. Elizabeth Hunter spoke with Emory's transport director about how they're doing it.
Emory says they're putting healthcare in Houston County back on track.
Our average response time for an emergency 911 call is down now to about 13 minutes.
Nathan Stanaway is Emory Healthcare's Director of Transport and Logistics. He says since August, they have cut response times by nearly a third.
When we first started to kind of join the community here in Warner Robins, Houston County, it was about 19 minutes for a 911 lights and sirens emergency response.
Stanaway says the main problem they had to fix was staffing.
We identified that, it was truly just a level of staffing issue. We didn't have enough EMTs, we didn't have enough paramedics.
He says since June, they have increased EMT and paramedic staff by 38%. The other problem they had to tackle was equipment.
We invested in equipment that really helps EMTs and paramedics reduce on-the-job injuries.
Stanaway says they purchased lots of equipment that helps make an EMT's job easier, like automatic CPR devices, a transport ventilator, and automatic stretchers. He says they also already received 2 new ambulances and a third is on the way.
That has been a blessing.
EMT Jennifer Howell says these improvements are time and life-saving.
Now we have about 9 trucks on the road, and that has helped with getting our ambulances out to the public a lot faster.
Howell says every minute saved is a better chance to save a life. In Warner Robins, Elizabeth Hunter, 13 WMAZ News.
Stanaway says that Emory's final goal is to get their average response time down to 10 minutes. Warner Robins now has its first full-time homeless shelter. It's a project 3 years in the making. Last Friday, city leaders cut the ribbon at the Haven Hope House, and as Jasmine Lee explains, they say it'll provide more than shelter.
These doors are finally open and city leaders say this is just the beginning. They hope to turn Haven Hope House into a 90-day program where people find not only shelter, but stability.
That sound marks the beginning of something new in the city, a place where help and hope meet.
It's been a long time coming.
With space for men and women and programs to provide counseling and job training, the city says Haven Hope House will be a place where lives can change. Gloria Johnson has watched the effort bring this shelter to life, working with churches and volunteers to give people without homes support and resources.
This is going to be a way for them to get back up, get a roof over their head. It's hard to go home and get in your beds and go to sleep at night and knowing somebody's sleeping on a cardboard box.
The city announced that the shelter will be operated by the Assembly Community Outreach, a faith-based organization with years of experience providing support to the homeless. The shelter will house up to 70 people with additional overflow space if needed. Residents will have access to showers, meals, clothing, and caseworkers to help them apply for jobs and long-term housing.
We feel amazing to see that the fruits of our labor is finally coming to be.
Mayor LaRonda Patrick, who has championed homelessness initiatives since taking office, calls Haven Hope House a community-built project.
Not just for individuals who stay in the shelter, but also for individuals who are in our community who need the same services. So you have to be willing to do it. Everyone on the street does not want to come off the street.
City leaders say the shelter will also serve as a warming center this winter, providing a safe place when temperatures drop. Reporting in Warner Robins, Jasmine Lee, 13 WMAZ News.
Mayor Patrick says there's no move-in date yet, but once the furniture is in place, then the city will announce when people can start moving in. Haven Hope House is located on Green Street. And a recent podcast episode is sparking some conversation in Warner Robins after mayoral candidate Fabian Velasquez criticized the city's new homeless shelter. Mayor LaRonda Patrick, on the other hand, is pushing back, saying that the shelter is part of a larger plan to fight blight and help people get back on their feet. Jasmine Lee shares both sides and explains what it means for the community.
If I was a business owner, I wouldn't want to be that close to a homeless shelter. If I was a business owner in the downtown area, I would be concerned with that.
That's Warner Robins mayoral candidate Fabian Velasquez raising concerns about the city's new homeless shelter, Haven Hope House. He questions whether its location on Green Street and less than a mile from downtown could do more harm than good for local businesses.
In their filth with a sign all day begging. And then when they leave, there's a dumpster not even that far away, but then there's just like filth wherever they left it. I don't want to give that guy a home. I think it would be unfair. I think that guy just created a crime.
Velasquez says he's seen more people living on the streets and believes the city should focus on who they're helping when offering support. He argues many people struggle with mental health or addiction and that few are simply down on their luck. But Mayor LaRonda Patrick is pushing back, saying the shelter is about compassion and community improvement.
You cannot solve homelessness. It's going to always be in a community.
Patrick says Haven Hope House is about giving people a clean, safe place to go while also reducing blight downtown. She added some business owners were paying out of pocket to clean up after people left items behind.
The community told us we need to address homelessness, and it's not something we can just blink our eyes and act like doesn't exist. If we do, we could end up as a larger city. When you go into that city, you see homeless tents everywhere.
She says the shelter works with local nonprofits and churches like Pastor Vince Harrington with No Limit Baptist Church to connect people with job training and rehab programs.
There's trash. Well, guess what? If I can put them in a home, you don't see the trash. Can't they work? Well, see, the only problem is if I beat you down long enough, you forget how to work.
Reporting in Warner Robins, Jasmine Lee, 13 WMAZ News.
Velasquez says that he wants to be compassionate but wants to bring a different approach. Mayor Patrick says the city's priority is keeping businesses strong while providing help to those who need it most. If you want to vote in the mayoral race over in Warner Robins and some of these other local races, then you have less than 10 days left to vote early. Early voting is open each weekday from 8:30 to 5:30 through the 31st. And then you can check the Georgia Secretary of State's My Voter page to find your polling location. And it's one of the ballot issues circulating around the county this week, whether to renew Houston's education splost, which would extend the penny sales tax through 2032. Elizabeth Hunter talked with people for their opinions about where their pennies will go.
A 1-cent sales tax that would bring in $275 million for the Houston County School District.
I already voted yes.
For Rutha Jackson, East Blost is a no-brainer.
It's for our children, for the generations to come.
Jackson grew up in Houston County. Her 3 children went to Houston schools, and she was a teacher here for 25 years. She says she has seen the benefits of East Blost firsthand.
We can see that our money is not being wasted. From what we have done to improve the schools that we have, to build other schools.
Jackson says as the county grows, it will need new schools and bigger classrooms. She says the East Blost will meet those needs.
Our kids can have a better quality of life, a better quality of education.
Cameron Andrews agrees that the county's education splost has done a lot of good. He voted to extend it in 2021.
It's amazing how fast the county has grown, but at the same time, the residents, the citizens, the taxpayers of Houston County have completely and wholly supported that.
But he says with the school district, Houston County, and others raising property taxes this year, most homeowners will see higher tax bills.
This year, particularly that I don't care for it, is I notice that taxes are going up, and at the end of the year when you pay property taxes, you feel that.
Andrews wonders when enough is enough. In Houston County, Elizabeth Hunter, 13 WMAZ News.
The last time that the East Blost was renewed in 2021, and about that time, about 75% of voters were in favor of the penny sales tax. Houston County's rapidly growing population is also pushing its landfill's wastewater system to the limits. Elizabeth Hunter talked to the Public Works about their problems going with the flow and what they're doing about it.
The water is flowing over.
The only place that we can take our leachate is the Warner Robins treatment plant.
Leachate is the hazardous water runoff produced by trash at the landfill. Right now, Houston County has to take that runoff daily to the Warner Robins treatment plant where it's treated.
Typically we haul 20 to 40,000 gallons depending on the weather and the garbage load.
That haul comes with a hefty price tag.
We spend about $20,000 to $25,000 a month on the treatment of the leachate from the landfill.
Brian Jones, Director of Operations for Houston County's Public Works, says the county's growth means more trash and more runoff. He says the landfill hauls so much wastewater to Warner Robins plant that it can't always keep up, so they needed a backup option.
They need to limit how much comes to it, then we can say that's fine and we'll just send it to Montezuma until things get straightened out.
Jones says they also reached a deal to use Perry's wastewater treatment plant when it opens in 2026.
The site where they're building their wastewater treatment plant is land that we gave to them, and we said in that we want to make sure that you will accept our leachate.
Even with this option, Houston County may need their own plant. Jones says they are currently conducting a year-long study on whether they should build one. In Houston County, Elizabeth Hunter, 13 WMAZ News.
Jones says once the study's done, the question will be whether to spend thousands each month to haul that runoff away or invest millions to build a new plant. The City of Warner Robins is also giving the green light to a new traffic study along Corder and South Houston Lake roads. The $21,000 project will look at how new housing developments are adding to congestion and the growth in the area. City leaders say that they're taking this on themselves rather than making developers pay for it on their own. Jasmine Lee reports.
If you've driven on Corder Road lately, you've probably noticed more traffic and more construction. City officials say this proposed study could be the first step in figuring out how new housing developments are adding to that growth and what needs to change.
Motion carries unanimously.
City leaders getting behind the wheel on this traffic study. They say it will help them get a full picture of how fast the area is growing and what needs to change before more homes and businesses move in.
Growth is good. We want growth. In fact, we need growth.
And for people like Tim Burgle, who lives near Corder Road, it's a step in the right direction.
But I do think they need to do a broader, more holistic view of the entire corridor, a much broader vision. They need to hire a vendor.
Last month, the city put a rezoning request for more than 200 homes on hold, saying they wanted this study done first. The goal? Figure out how new developments are impacting traffic before adding more.
We decided it was too important for us that we wanted to be the ones to make sure that it's done right.
Mayor LaRonda Patrick says the city will pay the $21,000 for the study using state transportation dollars, not local tax money. The 7-week analysis will look at how traffic flows through intersections like Russell Parkway, South Houston Lake Road, and Fagan Mill. She says the results will help the city plan smarter as more people move in.
Taking account of traffic, seeing the heavy times, trying to count how much traffic comes, how the lights are functioning, and how the new zoning and the amount of cars that'll flow there may impact traffic in that area.
Engineers are expected to start the study in the next few weeks. Reporting in Warner Robins, Jasmine Lee, 13 WMAZ News.
City leaders say that once the study's complete, they'll have a clearer picture of what changes need to be made to keep traffic moving smoothly. And a $2 million project is now under construction in Houston County. Commissioners approved a new fire and emergency management warehouse in August. Elizabeth Hunter got a look at the site and shares why the commission chair says it's needed.
The dirt has been flattened and the machines are already out here getting to work. Houston County Chairman Dan Perdue said this was something they couldn't put off.
We knew we needed more space.
15,000 square feet of space for a new warehouse located behind the fire and EMA headquarters off Lake Joy Road to house life-saving supplies.
Emergency supplies that we hope to never use, but we definitely need on hand.
Tarps, ready-to-eat meals, bedding, first aid kits, and fire equipment. Just a short list of the items soon to be inside. Perdue says the current warehouse on Carl Vinson Parkway will be turned over to the Houston County Sheriff's Office.
We're turning that existing HEMA warehouse over to the Sheriff's Department so they can use it to park some of their equipment in, use it for evidence storage and things like that.
The warehouse will be paid for out of the county's general revenue fund, which is completely funded by taxpayer dollars.
That money could be used for them to have their equipment and save lives. You can't argue that.
But for Matthew Toller, it's all worth it.
When they come out here and they risk everything they have for people, strangers.
Toller witnessed firefighters try and save his neighbor and his house from a fire on Horseshoe Drive in August. He says he saw the firefighter pull his neighbor from the flames.
You saw a fireman single-handedly grab the gentleman that was inside and bring him out. The house was collapsing as he brought him out.
He says after that experience, as a taxpayer, he is willing to pay what they need to continue serving his community.
They don't care what your name is or who you are or where you work. That's their job, is to come and save you.
Perdue says the warehouse is expected to be done before next summer, just in time for hurricane season, which starts June 1st. In Houston County, Elizabeth Hunter, 13 WMAZ News.
In June, Houston County Fire and EMA earned a Class 3 rating on the fire suppression scale. One's the best, one's the best, and 10 is the worst. Chairman Perdue says this warehouse will help their rating, which ultimately plays a role in determining insurance rates for homes in the county. 13 people in Houston County have lost their lives this year due to domestic violence. The sheriff's office says that's the most in county history. Some folks in Houston County are saying the problem is much bigger than they realized. Elizabeth Hunter talked to one group that is trying to turn the tide for survivors. Take a look at their mission and a story that comes straight from the heart.
As a mother, I don't want her to be forgotten.
13 stories have been cut short this year by family violence in Houston County.
I don't see her as just another statistic or just another number. That's my child. That's my baby.
Tamika Cheney lost her daughter Michaela in February 2024 when her ex-boyfriend shot her in the head. She says she's made it her mission to share Michaela's story and keep others from becoming a part of the statistic.
I just wanted to make sure that her story was handled with care.
Cheney is working with Caledonia's Lighthouse Foundation, a Houston County nonprofit, to let victims know it is not too late to get out.
Hopefully getting help before it ends in a tragic situation like my daughter's.
Caledonia's Lighthouse Foundation works with domestic violence victims to get them back on their feet.
So many are suffering in silence, and they're looking for a way out.
Tanya Cannon founded the nonprofit last year and says they have already helped 100 people.
It just brings joy to my heart to see that I'm able to provide services that can actually better their lives.
The foundation is holding an event Friday night to honor and encourage victims to seek help. It will start with a walk.
We have someone that's going to be holding up a banner, and the survivors and the families is able to walk behind that banner.
Cannon says she hopes this walk will be the first steps of someone choosing to go from a victim to a survivor. In Houston County, Elizabeth Hunter, 13 WMAZ News.
Now, the event will be held tonight at Ted Wright Memorial Park from 4 to 7. That walk will start right at 4. If you need to reach the foundation, you can do so by calling that number on your screen right there, 229-331-5027. And when students with special needs age out of the school system, many families are left wondering what's next. In Warner Robins, one center is making sure those adults still have a place to learn, grow, and belong. Naomi Washington reports.
Cynthia Harbuck patiently waits for her morning ride to work. She's a familiar face at the Heart of Georgia Hospice Thrift Store, and she loves every minute of it.
I work hard there, and I like the people there.
Cynthia is 54 years old and has been a part of the Happy Hour Service Center family for 28 years.
They helped me get another job, and I just love them for that.
Community Relations Coordinator Bruce Hullett says they provide resources for them to be a productive part of society.
We believe that every individual, regardless of their ability or disability, should have the opportunity to thrive in life.
That mission stretches beyond their doors to something you might see around town. The Happy Hour Recycling Center is open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, taking in cardboard, aluminum, electronics, and glass.
But it mainly provides training for our participants in teaching them different skill sets so we can place them out in the community at different vocational jobs.
The Happy Hour Center opened its doors 69 years ago, created to give special needs adults a place to continue learning long after their school years end.
They can only stay in the school system till they reach their 22nd birthday, and they either have to go to the couch or to the community. And of course, we'd love for them to come to the community.
And for people like Cynthia, that community has become a second home.
I put stuff out like Halloween stuff and Christmas stuff.
With a little support and a lot of heart, adults with special needs can keep shining brightly in the workplace and beyond.
Now, there's no age restriction at the Happy Hour Center. Their participants are age and range from 18 to early 70s. If you're interested in the Happy Hour Center, then you can visit their website. For nearly 2 decades, Lake Joy Trails of Terror has been known for its screams, but this Halloween, those scares come with a purpose. This year, every ticket and each shriek is helping a young cancer patient fight her cancer better. Jasmine Lee takes us inside the haunt where the frights are helping one Central Georgia teen in a story that comes straight from the heart.
That laugh, it doesn't belong in a haunted house, but for 13-year-old Josiah Robinson, it's proof fear doesn't always win.
My goodness, I just love these spiders.
8th grader Josiah has faced more scares than most kids her age. Synovial sarcoma, a rare form of cancer, is one of them. Amid the fog and flickering lights of Lake Joy Trails of Terror, she's not just a patient, she's the heart of the hunt.
Cancer doesn't define me.
Her presence here makes the trail more than just screams and scares. For every ticket sold, part of the proceeds go to helping her family with medical expenses, turning fun into impact.
Yeah, I was very shocked. I've been planning on coming here for a couple of years now, never did. And I was like, oh, they're sponsoring me? Loving it. And I love the whole entire crew team. It's nice meeting everyone around.
For 17 years, Robin Kelly and her family have built these trails to terrify, but they also built them to heal.
We always contact Jay's Hope Foundation, and they are the ones that gives us the child each year. So we always reach out to them, and they do the choosing for us.
From Halloween to Christmas, their Hunters with a Heart mission supports local children and families, turning fear into hope one scare at a time. For Jazz, every laugh and every cheer reminds her she's not facing this alone.
It's not even just about me, it's about other kids too. We lose kids every day to something like this, and I think it's nice for everyone to just come together and help.
Reporting in Warner Robins, Jasmine Lee, 13 WMAZ News.
Lake Joy Trails of Terror runs through November 1st over in Kathleen. Those tickets start at $25. Organizers say while the scares may end soon, their mission is to help Central Georgia kids continuing year-round. Well, that's a wrap on what's happening throughout the Robbins region this week. If you have a Houston County story that you want us to share, email us at news@13wmaz.com. And make sure you come back each Friday to get all of your Houston County news and stories that matter to you. Thanks for joining us.